Right now I feel I mash on them. Make it an anthem. The land of Guyana, of rivers and plains. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment me leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. Then nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live in a foreign country. Then nothing can change me. 6 races, beautiful faces. Put your hand them in the air if you're not racist. I pledge myself to honor always. I will never disgrace this. Then want peace and we mop. Wait your mothers, we not get you that. No, no, not one caress. Not a blade of grass. Listen up, 83,000 square miles. Oh my God, we find aisle. Me not tell you no lie. Guyana nice, but me fear for my life. Land of many waters, bring out all the leaders in the sun, them and the daughters. If you want to we fall, no, not at all. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment me leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live in a foreign country. So nothing can change me. We got stop broke. Allow it half crook. It now is pretty son about a try act shook. Got a big up GRM, me know I'm a tax look. And when me have the money, me can go for my bank book. Beautiful Guyana, we there in South America. Land of kite, the flora and the fauna. Independent people, so we doing what we wanna. Never violate because you could become a Ghana. Them love we country, all the foreigners, them children salute you. In the Indian temple, love we border, we no want no problem. Never fall, we forever standing. Me love how God make ya, would never forsake ya. Unique in every way, could I never mistake ya. If Guyana was a girl, we surely would date ya. That's why them want take ya. I'm a real Guyanese. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment me leave. I'm a real Guyanese. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real Guyanese. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real Guyanese. I live in a foreign country. So nothing can change me.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil to one Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is...
Good morning, everyone. This is Courdel Jones, and welcome down to Livewire. Last episode of the week, September 15. I'm a bit taken aback. I went to cricket last night. One loss, but it still bite. Probably should have stayed home and look. And this reminds me, right? This reminds me. I had a friend who put a video on TikTok where he was basically saying, it's better you stay home and watch the Guyana Amazon Warriors, because when you come out to watch them, that's when problems has come. So I went out last night to watch. And we all know what took place last night. However, it's one loss in their bid for the CPL Cup. So I think they're still ahead, or they're still leading the points board. So most likely they're going to make it to the final. Excuse me. Oh boy, I don't know when last I was out like that. I'm sorry, excuse me. Morning to all the persons tuned in already. Carla Thomas, Rennie Passad, Neil Ramlokan. Passad Drew, morning to you. Good morning, Jamila. Lance Henry, morning to you, brother. Omar Sharif. Good morning, Keith Adams. Morning. Gloria Manwar, Raji Miraj. Good morning to you guys. Good morning. Dale Henry, what? Dale, like you setting your alarm these days, man. Donna Dearlove, good morning to you. You're new. Welcome down to Livewire. Savitri Lachmia, good morning to you. Miss Ramcharan, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's really great to have you on the program. Cecil Rampasad, Pam Francis, Lash. Diana get a little lash last night by Datan Andalal. Good morning, Chitra Sukraj. Good morning, everybody. Welcome down to Livewire. Dario, morning, brother. I didn't know if you get to see the cricket last night. It was a little frustrating, but hey, it's better to lose now. We can take the loss now, and then we can take the big win in the final, right? So we get the loss out of the way. We get our one loss out of the way. So it's wins all the way to the final, right? So Guyana Amazon Warriors, we still believe in you. We still believe this year is our year, and we're depending on you guys to deliver. So good luck to the guys on the team. I am going to say this: next year we don't want Odin Smith. Just saying. I'm putting it out there right now. Next year we want Odin Smith. No. Switch out Odin Smith, please. We don't want him. He's a nice guy. He's a good person. I ain't got nothing against him, but we don't want him anymore. And this is the view of the persons in the green stand, at least that from what I hear. We don't want Odin Smith. We don't want Odin Smith anymore. Oh my goodness. Man, Romano, I believe the team has been doing an excellent job. It's just last night, it was an off night for them, I guess. But they have been performing all through CPL so far. So it is what it is. It's one loss. TKR got 2 losses, so we ain't gonna fight up and vex up with them, right? We ain't gonna fight up and vex up with them. TKR got 2 losses, we only got 1, and we're still ahead on the points board. So things are supposed to be looking up from now on, right? Things are supposed to be. I get some messages. People agree. No more Odin Smith. So the diaspora has spoken. The locals have spoken. Odin, thank you, but no thank you next year. Thank you, but no thank you next year. Thank you, but no thank you next year. I think the video just come to me. So I was telling y'all. No, that's not a video. That's not a video. Anyway. Right? Anyway, so that was cricket last night. Morning to Mr. Padmore Evans watching us. I don't know if it's Facebook or where he's watching us from, but morning to you. Hope you have a great day, bro. Go there and get your work done. Dano. The other 10 players perform. Even Hetty Mayo, everybody happy with Hetty. Sheppy, everybody happy. It's only OD doing BRS. Anyway, folks, let's get into today's program. Today is as you all know, our president is overseas representing Guyana and putting us back in good standing on the international stage after several incidents that caused Guyana to fall into some sort of disrepute or start to get bad name from other countries. But today is International Day of Democracy, the International Day of Democracy, and His Excellency Dr. 𝒏𝒐𝒕𝒅 Ali, President of Guyana. I agree, Don. I agree. So His Excellency, in his message to Guyanese in relation to the International Day of Democracy, he shared a message with the Guyanese population, although he's in Washington currently on a 3-day visit, right? In his message, he highlighted or touched on the importance of free and fair elections. The president emphasized that free and fair elections are the lifeblood of democracy. Through these elections, citizens express their aspirations and shape the future of the country. The president also reaffirmed his commitment to democracy and his party and his government's commitment to democracy. And this unwavering commitment to safeguard the rights to free and fair elections was reaffirmed by His Excellency. This commitment is seen as a tribute to the struggles and the sacrifices of the Guyanese people. And besides the 2020 saga that took place, that wasn't the first time that Guyanese had to fight tooth and nail for democracy. At least it didn't take 28 years, right? Because we understand, some of us do, understand what it was like during that period. His Excellency also touched on the challenges in Guyana's democratic history. In his message, he acknowledged the challenges Guyana faced in its democratic history. He mentions the 24-year period of democratic interruption from 1968 to 1992. During which the voice of the people was suppressed. Their rights were violated. and hardships were imposed on them, right? Hardships were imposed on them. Then there was an emergence from dark times. So despite those challenges, the reliance of pro-democratic forces and the emergence of Guyana into a brighter era come 1992. And this was marked by the restoration of democracy. His Excellency also touched on recent challenges, and as I mentioned, the 2020 period. President Ali mentioned the challenges faced in 2020 when efforts were made to undermine the integrity of Guyana's elections. However, through vigilance and international support, the democratic will of the people prevailed in Guyana. So hats off to all those guardians of democracy. And when you hear Annette and Corette and them talking about we the guardians of democracy, they're taking a little rest. They had a serious fight with y'all for 5 months to get the results of the 2020 election. So right now they're taking much needed rest. They have no democracy is not under threat right now, Coretta and Annette and Simona. They love to ask where the guardians of democracy are. But democracy is not under threat, so we have no use for them. So right now they are catching rest for 2025 when y'all try to pull something again. And I'm almost sure that that will be the case in 2025. Right? I'm almost sure of it. But let me see what will happen. Right? So His Excellency touched on the recent rigging attempt and the fact that through vigilance and international support, the will of the people prevailed here in Guyana. In his message, it was emphasized that democracy requires ongoing vigilance. His Excellency warns against authoritarianism and elections manipulation, stretching the need to guard against any attempts to erode the democratic foundations. He also touched on the fragility of democracy. In his message, he reminds Guyanese that democracy is fragile and can easily be undermined. It calls for collective responsibility to protect and nurture democracy for the current and future generations. And in wrapping up, it was about honoring the democratic values. So on International Day of Democracy, our President, His Excellency, Dr. Mohamed Irfan, calls on Guyanese to remember the sacrifices made by those who secured democratic rights and to honor their memory by preserving and defending democratic values, right? So that is a synopsis of the message shared by His Excellency in relation to International Day of Democracy 2023. But you know who share a message as well? Y'all know who share a message as well? Aubrey C. Norton share a message as well. Aubrey share a message as well. Let me share that with you, right? So in his message, he asserts that democracy in Guyana is facing continuous challenges from government. And he suggests that these challenges threaten the democratic principles and institutions of the country. Aubrey had to hit the crack pipe before he used this or had this message sent out. Aubrey has to be high. Aubrey has to be high. At which point we had any member of the People's Progressive Party civic government engaging in anything close to what happened in 2020 with the coalition. When Aubrey This was your party. So I don't know if Aubrey thinks you're still in government, Mickey saying government, but that was your party, Aubrey. He went on to talk about people's responsibility. Norton emphasizes that democracy doesn't automatically emerge and survive. It requires active participation and defense by people, and calling on citizens, right, to construct and protect democracy from threats. People did that. And we understand, Aubrey, that it doesn't happen automatically, right? Because if it happened automatically, your party would have never put us through that 5-month period. Your party would have adhered to the vote of confidence that y'all lost and went to elections in 3 months. Right? Because in relation to democracy, if the people don't want you, you gotta go. That's how it goes. That's how democracy goes. The people vote, you get picked or you don't get picked. And they didn't pick y'all, Aubrey. Actually, they booted you from office for doing foolishness for 5 years. Nothing to benefit anyone. You understand? Nothing to benefit anyone. And citizens, Aubrey, I must say, were actively participating in the defense of democracy. You remember all those persons in the black jersey outside the conference center? You remember those persons? Those persons were actively participating in the defense of democracy, Aubrey. And that is why I say to y'all here on this program, sometimes it's so vexing listening to the opposition. And that's why when Paul tells me I only listen to one side, for me to come here and comment on the foolishness that I deem foolishness, I have to listen. You got to read what they're doing. You got to understand what they're talking about. And I'm saying this is barefacedness by Aubrey Norton. They should have let this one slide. Today is a day that they should have said, hey, we ain't gonna say nothing. Morning, comrade sobers. You understand? Today is a day that we're not going to say anything. We're gonna let today slide and we can just hold a corner. But I keep telling y'all the barefacedness, no shame. No shame. How Aubrey Norton could put out a message of this nature, given his party's checkered past. Given his party's checkered past. Right? So Aubrey persons or Guyanese have been actively participating in the defense of democracy since 2020. They have been. They have no choice. He then went on to speak on unity and standing up for democracy and was urging young people to unite and stand up for democracy in Guyana. Right? And he's implying that this is essential for realizing their aspirations as outlined in the Guyanese constitution. That's the only thing you see in the constitution, Aubrey. You see anything about a confidence vote there in the constitution? Just checking, brother. You see anything about how you just count the votes or what is the source document to tabulate votes in the constitution? You're mentioning constitution. That's the nonsense you're getting from these people. And I wonder if some persons don't, I won't say they don't remember, but they decide to put a veil over their eyes or to turn the face when they see this foolishness from the opposite. You got to call them out. Right? We have to call them out. We have to call them out because persons like Aubrey Norton, in relation to this message, that he's putting out is a hypocrite and he's being duplicitous. You understand me? Up to now, RB Norton can't get on no SOPs because I ain't looking for them no more. I am not looking for them anymore. You understand? Up to now, RB Norton can't provide no SOPs to show we. Up to now. And these people talking about democracy and putting out message for democracy. Foolishness. They were the main persons trying to undermine democracy in this country. And if y'all notice, every election, they don't put in no work really, you know. They don't really put in any work. They can buy the green and yellow, or the green or the yellow. I don't know if they're coming together. You understand me? They can buy the little stupid outfit. They can got 1 and 2 rallies where they can truck everybody in from all the areas that they could get them from, right? But to say they're actually doing something that can benefit the Guyanese people, I have not heard anything from the opposition thus far that you could say, hey, this is a good recommendation for government. Maybe government should try to implement this. It's just a cuss down and abuse down parade. Anything that benefits the people, you understand? They don't like. And that's something I think persons need to pay attention to. So on this day, International Day of Democracy, I'm saying, Mr. Norton, please stop being a hypocrite. That's all. Please stop being a hypocrite. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Right? Moving on. His Excellency is in Washington for a few days. And just to give you a little synopsis on that trip there, he is there with Minister Ojwaldron, the Minister Hugh Todd. Oh my God! Wow. Foreign Affairs and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Hugh Todd, and a couple other key representatives from Guyana's government and a few other institutions. He's over there representing us, meeting with persons and members of the U.S. government and Congress, and having discussions with them in relation to moving things forward in Guyana and what the vision is exactly for Guyana, right? And also we had yesterday, the General Secretary for the People's Progressive Party had his press conference as well. So let's do a quick run through of some of the issues and topics that were raised. So Dr. Jagdeo touched on the president's agenda in Washington. He is currently there in Washington engaging with key policymakers there. And the president's schedule is a busy one for the 3 days, including meetings with senior members of the Biden administration, congressmen, and going to several think tanks, among other engagements, including town hall meetings and meeting with persons from the diaspora over there. So there was some clarification in relation to the Congressional Black Caucus meeting. And the president's meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus was not to answer questions about Guyana's policy, but to inform them about Guyana's development. And the aim is to correct any misrepresentation and ensure accurate information is conveyed to Congress. And we know that there are certain platforms, just like this one, which indicate to persons that Guyana is in no way, shape, or form moving forward. There's no progress happening. Nothing at all. Nothing at all happening in Guyana. There is no development. There is no investment in infrastructure. There is no investment in healthcare, education, nothing at all. Right? Nothing at all. So His Excellency, instead of allowing that narrative to run, he went there himself to correct it. He went there himself to correct it and to actually give persons a realistic view of what is happening in Guyana. And you know what I like? You got to look at when Aubrey Norton visiting the States and when the president visiting the States. Despite all these things that are being peddled by certain persons overseas, you see persons genuinely happy to meet our president, genuinely happy to engage with him. You understand me? Genuinely happy to meet him, be around him, hear what he has to say, listen to his plans for the country, how we moving Guyana forward, how we gonna make Guyana so nice that all these overseas based Guyanese in the US gonna move back to Guyana, right? You look at the interactions with him, people actually listening to what he got to say. They want to hear from our president. You see the difference? You see the difference, right? You see the difference in how people approach him. And just on Wednesday night, I didn't get to touch it yesterday. Coretta McDonald was talking about she doesn't know what is she likes to say Irfan. She doesn't know what is Irfan's problem. What is his big deal with the handshake and handshake and handshake? Coretta, look at these photos. People shaking hands. Coretta, people shaking hands. This is what does do. Right? People shaking hands, Coretta. People shaking hands, interacting. That's what this do. That's what professionals just do when they interact. They shake hands and they interact with each other. Be courteous, general, being nice. Ain't nothing fancy about it. Right? Ain't nothing fancy about it. So that was in relation to the president's trip. The Dr. Jagyo went on to addressing allegations of ethnic discrimination. Claims of ethnic discrimination and marginalization should be brought to the Ethnic Relations Commission, an established body in Guyana. Right? So all the persons who are claiming Afro-Guyanese aren't getting loans, they're getting contracts, apartheid state in Guyana and all that stuff that you're putting out there, take it to the ARC and let them look into it. Right? Take it to the ARC. Take it to the ARC. That is the body that was properly constituted to deal with those matters. Take it to them. Right? The GS went on to talk about the repudiation of past elections rigging. Touching on the engagement with individuals or groups should include the repudiation of past election rigging behavior. Some individuals like Norton deny historical facts about rigged elections, which undermines their credibility. So, like I was saying earlier, when Donna, I guess she felt like it was a political platform. But my point, Donna, was for Aubrey Norton to make those statements, right? For Aubrey Norton to make the statements he made in his International Democracy Day statement or missive, he's being a hypocrite. He's being a hypocrite. So that is why I'm saying on this occasion, on this day, they should have quietly let it pass. Quietly let it pass. Don't say nothing in relation to elections, democracy, youths and democracy. But no, leave it alone. Leave it alone, because clearly, not so long ago, fresh in our minds, it was a terrible situation. It wasn't a good look for Guyana. And I downloaded a video from Selwyn Peters. I'm going to play for y'all a little later, right? Because, anyway, continuing. The General Secretary also spoke about the oil block bid round, sharing that the recent bid round for the oil blocks resulted in bids for 8 out of the 14 blocks, with multiple offers from 6 bidders. And he reaffirmed the commitment to transparency in block allocation, as has been maintained, right? Then he went to give some context of the bid round. So global trends are moving towards net zero emissions and decarbonization, right? Oil majors are selling off their exploration and production assets worldwide. And there's a difficulty in raising finance for fossil fuel related activities. Many countries are participating in or hosting bids for oil blocks, aren't so successful, right? But whilst we have these trends, we see that our government is ensuring that Guyana is able to benefit from its natural gas resources or oil resources, while still implementing an energy mix to keep in line with the global trends of zero emissions and decarbonization. So we see the solar farms, we see the hydro projects, right? We even see solar lights being implemented in government agencies and street lights and that kind of thing to minimize the carbon footprint. And Guyana's carbon footprint is already small, but to minimize it some more. So the new petroleum sharing agreement, and this year he was highlighting the changes in Guyana's conditions, right? The new petroleum sharing agreement includes a higher royalty rate, corporate tax, and caps cost recovery. The PSC also emphasizes training, safety, timely data submission, assigning bonus, work plans, and penalties for not meeting work plan commitments. So despite all the stuff Glenn Lal is saying, we're seeing that the government is putting systems in place to make sure that the Guyanese have maximum benefit from the oil resources. So, as I said, maximum benefit. And the government has pursued initiatives to maximize benefits for Guyanese citizens. This includes a local content law benefiting companies and stimulating economic activity. The gas to energy project, which aims to secure 15 million cubic feet of gas for free, enhancing our benefits here. Now, he touched on the gas monetization strategy. Now, Guyana is working on a gas strategy and intends to monetize its gas assets. Discussions with Exxon regarding gas monetization are ongoing, with a draft strategy to be released for consultation. And this here is important, consultation. We often hear that government doesn't want to consult, they're not consulting, nobody don't know what they're doing. But here it is, I'm saying to you, even in this effort here, there's consultation. All those bills that were recently passed in the National Assembly, I do remember the AG saying that not one person would have submitted a suggestion, a change, anything in relation to them. So despite what you're hearing about government not wanting to consult and not wanting to meet and all that foolishness, it's not the case. And whilst I'm on the Attorney General, but that was a brief synopsis of the the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic press conference yesterday. You can watch that in its entirety on his Facebook page, or you can check it out on my page. I shared it as well, so that you can catch what is going on and understand what is happening in and around Guyana, right? In and around Guyana. Also, check out Freddie and Gildari show with Dominic Gaskin. Y'all listen. Y'all listen to him. Y'all listen to Granger's son-in-law. Like he tell you that they knew they lost the election. They knew they lost it. Anyway, I'm moving on. So the Attorney General would have responded to a letter from, or responded to Paul Slow and his relentless attack against the Acting Commissioner of Police, Clifton Hicken. And he would have cited previously, or as evidence of the duplicitous nature of these people, right? The duplicitous nature of these people, that the appointment of Mr. Hoppy as acting commissioner was far flung from the constitutional mandate, right? So the Attorney General's response is framed as a counter to the letter written by Paul Slow, published in Stabrook News, regarding the appointment of Deputy Commissioner Hoppy as acting commissioner of police, right? And the AG labeled it a constitutional atrocity, right? A constitutional atrocity in relation to Nigel Hoppy appointment by the APNU AFC government to perform the functions of Commissioner of Police. I shared the appointment letter with you here. And the Attorney General quotes the content of the letter sent by the Permanent Secretary to the then Commissioner of Police, Leslie James, granting him pre-retirement leave and appointing Nigel Hoppy to perform the function of Commissioner of Police. So we see a clear difference. We see a clear difference. The Attorney General also touched on the relevant constitutional provisions, Article 211. Now, Article 211 of the Guyana Constitution is cited and explained. It outlines the process for appointing the Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioners of Police. And in relation to Mr. Hoppy's appointment, that process was not followed. He also looked at challenging the legality of the appointment. So the AG argues that Nigel Hoppy's appointment via a letter from the Permanent Secretary does not align with constitutional provisions, and it emphasizes that the office of the Commissioner of Police was vacated due to pre-retirement leave. He also touched on the subversion of constitutional supremacy. The AG challenges the notion that a permanent secretary can bypass the constitutional procedure through linguistic manipulation, asserting that the law prioritizes substance over form. Right? Substance over form. Now, he also referenced legal precedents. In his response, as normal, and that's what I was saying yesterday. Mr. Ramdani, the King's Counsel, who is looking at these election fraud cases, they're not running and moving while they're being meticulous. They're making sure they dot the I's and cross the T's, so you don't have any loopholes for anybody to jump through. Persons who are involved in the elections rigging process will be held accountable. So the Attorney General cited English legal case, Street versus Montford of 1985, to emphasize the importance of substance in legal matters. The AG touched on the functional responsibilities of Mr. Hoppe. He asserted that during his tenure, Nigel Hoppe effectively performed the duties of Commissioner of Police, regardless of his official title or insignia, right? So they had no consultation in relation to moving Nigel Hoppe up as Commissioner of Police. There was an opposition leader at the time, but there was no consultation. And finally, the AG referenced the previous legal case, Christopher Jones versus the Attorney General and Clifton Hickey. He mentions this case where the appointment of Clifton Hickey as acting police commissioner was upheld as lawful in compliance with the Constitution. Now, remember, their argument was there was no consultation with the opposition leader, right? There was no consultation with the opposition leader, and I think the police service commissioner or something of the sort, one of those commissioners. Now, imagine these people went to court to say that there was no consultation with the opposition leader, when there was no opposition leader. Y'all remember when Harman resigned and Aubrey Norton was fighting tooth and nail to get the opposition seat for them to even allow him into parliament? There was no opposition leader. The police service commission, the time frame that is allowed for that body, the life expectancy of that organization had expired. So I'm trying to understand, who are you consulting with? They gave the guy a hard time. No that Aubrey in there, he ain't really like Mr. Hickens, so he has set out right. He will not support Mr. Hickens' appointment. Normal fashion, you can't get your way, nothing can go forward. Everything broke up and done. Everything broke up and done. Nevertheless, I'm glad that we have persons who are able to see and hear some of the stuff that come out of these quarters and help us to break it down and understand better what is really going on, so that we as Guyanese don't feel left out, feel like we don't understand what is the process and that kind of stuff. And the information that is sometimes put out there from certain quarters, it is not entirely credible, and it doesn't come from a credible source, right? Anyway, we down to the home stretch of the program, so we're going on some positive vibes. So Kuru main access road is going to be constructed soon. Government has allocated 300, sorry, let me pull that back. So the government has allocated $103 million for the construction of the main access road leading to Kuru Primary School. The construction project focuses on improving 1,000 meter stretch of road leading into this community. In addition to the 1,000 meter stretch under full construction, there will be rehabilitation works done on other sections of the road. This rehabilitation will include activities such as adding loam, crusher run, and compacting of these sections. Minister of Public Works, Bishop 𝒂𝒊𝒒𝒊𝒈𝒆𝒄, has instructed contractors to mobilize equipment and materials promptly, indicating that work will begin without delay. Government's commitment government continues to show its commitment to development. We're seeing it. Minister Ejel emphasized that government's commitment to working with residents to address their concerns and promote development in every community is ongoing. So ministers meeting with these persons, soon as you got a little issue, minister run into your community, the president, the vice president, somebody, they have access to these persons. And the good thing about it, persons raising the concerns and they're seeing their concerns being addressed in a timely manner, right? The minister highlighted that government's willingness to engage with citizens and listen to their concerns is paramount and very important. The minister expressed the expectation of full cooperation from the community once the construction contractors begin their work. And sometimes I like to listen. To make a cake, you gotta break a few eggs, right? So just like in certain sections of the city where road works are going on and that kind of thing, you hear some people complaining, oh, it's taking too long, they ain't like this, they ain't like that. And I mean, oh my goodness, if the roads weren't being fixed, it would have been an issue. Now that it's being fixed, you have a minor inconvenience for a short period of time. Person still complaining. I think people need to pick a struggle. Is either you want development or you don't want development. And for development to happen, you have to change things. You might got block a road, you got to dig up some things. Minor inconvenience, people. Minor things, right? Road works continuing in 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒂𝒊𝒈𝒆𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 82 million have been signed for the second phase of rehabilitative roadworks in Alboystown and Costello Housing Scheme, Georgetown. 16 contracts were signed. Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, along with his permanent secretary, Mr. Prasad, facilitated the signing of these 16 contracts for the projects. These contracts involve the construction of 8 streets and 3 bridges in the area. Now, let's look at the community involvement again. Local contractors from the community are involved in this project, right? And did I take the picture down? I think I did. I want to show y'all the crew. These local contractors who are going to be working on this project, right? All from Alboystown. All of them are from Alboystown or in the surrounding areas there, right? No, I didn't take the photo down, but you can go to DPI's website or their Facebook page and you'll see it. You will see all these contractors are from Alboystown. And if you see the Afro-Guyanese there, remember, Afro-Guyanese, according to the opposition, they're being marginalized and discriminated against by this government, according to the opposition. But every time you got contract signing for whatever it is, road, bridge, school, hospital, wherever it is, you're seeing Afro-Guyanese in the midst. You're seeing Afro-Guyanese in the midst. So I don't know what is this discrimination and marginalization that the opposition is talking about. We're seeing Afro-Guyanese in the mix. Right? So local contractors from the community are involved in the project. Recipients of contract express their appreciation for the opportunity to contribute to their community's development and employ local residents. Look at the boulevard. The young people in that area get employment from that same boulevard construction. Some of you looking at me here now, when y'all come back for Christmas or March or whenever y'all come back, and y'all pass and see that boulevard, and what All Boys Town looks like now, with the streets that are constructed, the concrete roads running through there, right? You're going to say, this is not the place I grew up in. You're going to see the change. You're going to see the change there. But people like Christopher Jones wants All Boys Town to remain as it is. He doesn't want people's property value to improve. He wants persons people like you looking here, who probably came from All Boys Town or passed through there in your younger days before leaving Guyana, right? He wants you to come back and see All Boys Town in the exact same way that you left it, right? He wants you to look around and say, this is not the place that I go. Look how this place changed. I don't like it. So when you see the good roads in All Boys Town and the good drainage, you must be upset. When people property value in that area go up because of the boulevard and the good roads in the area, you must be upset. And the good bridges and footpaths there, you must be upset. And that is the kind of development that you can expect from people like Christopher Jones and Aubrey Norton. I dare say so, right? So Minister Indar, who was there, as I said earlier, emphasized the government's commitment to gradual development in communities across the country. He highlighted that community members would be involved in the construction, and this can only benefit the area. More spending money in that area, right? Now, phase one, mind you, this is phase two. Phase one of the project, which has been completed. You hear me? Which has been completed. Phase one, which has been completed. So correct who talking about the one project, the school on the up Linden side there. The one project that's lacking, like if the contractor is the government of Guyana. Right? The persons working on the ground, the owner of the company building that school is President Ali. The government can contract it out to somebody to build it. The one project that's struggling little, they're ready to highlight, right? So phase one of this project was completed. It involved the rehabilitation of 1.8 kilometers of road, including Independence Boulevard. Approximately 140 million was spent on this phase, which included the construction of 8 streets and 4 connecting bridges. All Boys Town. Costello Housing Scheme. Opposition strongholds, as they put it. Right? Opposition strongholds, as they put it. But we can't or we can't go into All Boys Town or Costello Housing Scheme or South Rumville or Sapphire and say, coalition did this first. Coalition build these streets here. I remember Minister McCoy, Minister Rodriguez, Minister Warren, Minister Edgil, those ministers, along with, at the time, candidate Andre Jackman, candidate Asher Wallace, Councillor Dion Young, candidate Gear Kissoon, walking that community. When they got to the school, right, in Sapphire, where Congress placed right in front, when they got to the school in Sapphire, one of the teachers tell them, look, you see this little footpath here, this is what we use to access the school. When it rain, it flood. The people in the area running the wires from the post, the frightened it shock up the children. You know those children got a footpath today. You know those children have a footpath today that they could get to their school safely when it rain, fall, snow, sun, whatever it is. And those are the simple things that these people couldn't do. Those are the simple things these people couldn't do for their areas that supported them. Right? RMC, I was going to mention that as well. So the president is in the States, as I would have mentioned earlier, right? And RM, the good thing about it, he's moving away the misinformation that people like Burke put out there. So you're right. You are right. You are right. He's meeting with them and showing them what is going on. So people like Rickford Burke from his basement over there can't misrepresent the development happening in Guyana. They can't do it. They can't do it. Anyway, people, we're coming down to wrap up time. So it's Friday. I need y'all to be safe this weekend. I am not sure if there is cricket this weekend. Let me check. No. Tomorrow there's cricket. Jamaica Talawas versus the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. Look, I ain't even gonna touch on the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. Sunday they got the Jamaica Talawas. Okay, no. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. there's the Jamaica Talawas versus the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. Then at 7 p.m. tomorrow, there's the Amazon Warriors versus the Trinbago Night Riders. So 7 p.m. tomorrow, or that would be today. Sorry, that's today. I they didn't update the thing as yet. So that's today. So 7 p.m. today, chicken curry versus curry chicken, right? And they're gonna be showing on again. This morning at 10, they got St. Kitts and Nevis versus the Talawas. On Sunday, there is the Talawas versus the St. Lucia Kings. And then there is, in the evening, the Amazon Warriors versus the Barbados Royals. Right? Tuesday, the 19th, will be playoffs. Wednesday, the 20th, 7 p.m., Amazon Warriors versus the Trinbago Night Riders. Chicken curry versus curry chicken again. And then we will be moving to the heading into the finals and semifinals and that kind of thing. Morning, caller.
Congratulate you. You're doing a very good job.
Thank you, sir.
And you're talking about development of road. We got development all over the country with those buses. That's it.
Okay. Thank you for coming through, caller. So somebody's correcting me. It's tomorrow. Cricket is tomorrow, right? So the thing was updated. I thought I was just seeing something that wasn't updated. So Saturday and Sunday are double headers at the Providence Stadium there. Make sure you guys get your tickets. Yo, real tickets selling outside the stadium by... I don't think that's fair, though. I mean, I understand people hustling, but why they allowing people to buy so many tickets at one time? Like, oh gosh. And sometimes the prices are so ridiculous. So yesterday, when I was going to the cricket, I had my ticket. Well, I had two tickets. Now I pick up these tickets, or thought I pick up the tickets to go to the cricket. And when I got there and I looked into my bag, I only had one. But luckily, they had a guy out there, government official, who had some extra tickets. So he shared one with me, so I got to go in there. But I was going to buy one out there at the time, and the ticket price hot, buddy. The ticket price hot. So I am suggesting to the persons at CPL or whoever manages these things. I understand persons trying to make money, right? But even if you're buying bulk tickets, you probably should only be able to buy 10 at a time. Or one person should be only able to buy 10 tickets if you're buying in a lot. But the amount of tickets I see some people had out there last night, I was wondering, like, okay, let's see these tickets in sell. There's a hell of a loss. Because I think Greenstand tickets were like about 5 or something like that. Somebody got more than 20 tickets in the hand. And look, trouble. Anyway, folks, thank you for being here with me for this hour this morning. Remember, it is the weekend. I'm begging you guys to please take your time on the roadways. Hats off to the new traffic chief. He's carrying the steam. Lock them up. Lock them up. The driving drunk. Lock them up. Right? You lock them up, sir. Senior superintendent. So, hats off to the crime chief. He started with a pace. So, y'all, please be careful on the roadways. The police on the road looking for drunk drivers and persons who are operating vehicles in a careless manner. Right? So, y'all be careful on the roadways. Please don't drink and drive. If y'all are going to the cricket and you want to enjoy yourself, please have a designated driver. They got plenty taxis working on the road in the nights. The prices might be a little hot as well, but it's best you get home alive to your family than, you drive yourself and you don't make it. Too much fatalities on the road. The police force is trying, but again, as I said in a meeting I was in the other day, we as citizens have a responsibility. The police, they are not with us at the bar buying beers and buying rum for us to drink. When we don't pass, we limit. Right? The police is not going to park up in front of Sita's bar to see that you jumping in your car sober. They are on the road performing their duties. And if they catch you doing stupidness, you gotta pay the price. Right? So I'm encouraging persons not to drink and drive, not to drive reckless on the roadways. Arrive alive, folks. Anyway, see y'all again on Monday. Remember, peace, love, and always, 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 one Guyana. One Guyana. A quick shout out to our sponsor, 𝒐𝒑 Security Service. You're secure with 𝒐𝒑. Check them out for fireballs. Check them out. And I mean fireballs, the snack. The fireball is a matter of fact, I'll probably invite one of the representatives on the program to give a demonstration or a brief synopsis of what the fireball is and what it does. But check them out for security service, static arm services. They'll be starting their K9 division soon. They also offer services to communities. Let's say a community comes together and they want security in that community. The residents, they come together, they pay the fees, and you can have security services there with 𝒐𝒑. They're on Facebook, so you can check out their page for more information. Again, Dale, good weekend to you, Tara. Kemraj, oh gosh. Kemraj, morning, brother. Anyway, folks, peace, love, one Guyana. Let me stay together. Don't let me bother with the opposition and the nonsense. And continue to be great Guyanese. Right? See y'all later. See y'all on Monday.
Son about that try show. Got a big of GRM, me know I'm a tax look. And when me have the money, me can go for my bank book. Beautiful Guyana, we there in South America. Land of kite, the flora and the fauna. Independent people, so we doing what we wanna. Never violate, because you could become a Ghana. Them love we country, all the foreigners, them children salute you. In the Indian temple, long we border, we no want no problem. Never fall, we forever standing. Me love how God make you, would never forsake you. Unique in every way, God I never mistake you. If Guyana was a girl, surely would date you. That's why them want take you. I'm a real guy unique. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment me leave. I'm a real guy unique. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real guy unique. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real guy unique. I live living in a foreign country. So nothing can change me. I'm a real guy unique. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment me leave. I'm a real guy unique. From the red to the black to the gold to the white to the green. I'm a real guy unique. And nothing can change me. So nothing can change me. I'm a real guy unique. I live living in a foreign country. So nothing can change me. Caution them.
AG.
Make it an anthem. Land of Guyana, of rivers and plains. I'm a real guy unique. From the time when I step on the scene to the moment me leave.